you want to watch? Thank you to Jelanica Gorbsmetal. That name sounds familiar. For helping out in the video department today.
The mom of one of your daughters.
Yeah, she's doing good work so far, from what I understand. 4-0 Guardians downtown against the White Sox, top of the 7th. That is the first of 2 today in the doubleheader. Of course, that'll be the second loss for the White Sox in as many days if they lose this. 7:10 tonight. You will hear that on WMMS. Your FM home for what? What did you say?
I was going to say, in an ideal world, they'll have 4 losses in 3 days, which is really cool.
That's got to really bum Jim Thome out, too, as a White Sox legend. He's got to kind of look at that and go, God, what as a part of this. I did
my best work in this city. I'm happy with these results.
As a part of the...
There's a statue of me out there.
Yeah. As he's currently,
gotta be thrilled.
As of course he's currently part of the White Sox organization.
I don't think that's going to last much longer. Not the way they're losing. He's got to be embarrassed.
He's going to leave.
He's got standards.
Yeah.
Well, he might be onto something. We'll see. But 7:10 tonight. I've heard from a number of listeners who are going to be at the game tonight. So if you see me,
just remind him.
Don't look me in the eye.
All the things he hates.
That's right. Now say hi. Go. Somebody gave me a whole big thing of instructions with respect to consuming Skyline chili in the break, and it just sounds, as this person describes it, it sounds like you're going to great lengths to, like, you're supposed to not mix it up. You're supposed to leave it layered. You're supposed to cut it. I'm like, that. What? What?
I don't know. It's all bad. It's all bad. You don't need it.
Well, I'm still going to try it because I'm the only one here who hasn't. And so now, what if it goes on my list of things I love? What if Skyline chili becomes something amazing to me and I can't get enough? And then I work it into the framework of the show.
Knowing you.
Somehow.
Knowing you.
There's 0 things you're going to like about this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I like spaghetti. I like
really
cinnamon.
wet spaghetti?
Doesn't everybody say, what?
Do you like wet spaghetti?
Well, isn't all spaghetti wet?
No.
All spaghetti, as I understand
It's
it,
just
is
sitting
wet.
in a pool of water.
In a
Almost
pool.
soup.
So it hasn't been drained?
No.
Why don't they drain it?
Because they don't care.
Well, that can't be true. I mean, you're trying to keep a restaurant
Your whole
open.
meal costs like $4. They don't care.
And so what you're saying is their rationale is, hey, we're not charging you
What do
the
you
draining.
expect?
You're not paying a draining fee.
Right.
You're paying a wet
We
fee.
passed the savings on to you.
That's right. I was trying to explain to my daughter last night that water isn't wet.
Water makes things wet.
The things that water touches
Yes.
are wet. Now, by the transitive property, of course, you'd have to come to the conclusion that water itself is wet. It's just that you can't.
I have so much in common with water.
Are you saying that everything you touch gets wet?
One way or another.
Is that, Mary, is that what he's saying?
Probably from vomit. That's what it is.
Everything
You
that
puke.
Bill touches, hey, he's got a girlfriend. I don't. He's one step
You have
ahead
a
of me.
wife.
Nevertheless, I don't have a girlfriend.
I guess. That's one
When
way
you
to
grab
look
it,
at
you'll feel how firm it is.
And wet.
It is.
Start by just touching it. Hey, your dumb team scored a point.
Hey!
They gotta run.
Now we're talking. What do you mean, my dumb team?
Your dumb
You
team.
mean my amazing team? The Chicago White Sox?
Not that team.
They scored once. Are you talking about the Toronto Blue Jays? Are they playing today?
I don't know.
All right. Fine. Hey, we've got a lot of bureau chiefs. By the way, if you are one, tell me where you are. We heard from Laura yesterday. She called in from Richmond, Virginia. She's a longtime bureau chief. Austin lives in Houston. It's confusing. Alex lives in San Francisco. Molly is one of our Denver bureau chiefs. Sasha lives in Portland, Oregon. And we have a number of bureau chiefs in the great city of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have Larry and Wally and Ken. And Albuquerque, it's a big city, about 500,000 people. They're getting statues, bronze statues. You know how they have Rocky in Philly? And they've got that Rambo statue in the Pacific Northwest. Albuquerque is going to unveil bronze statues of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Nice.
Imagine that. You're like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Albuquerque. Sure, it's fictional drug dealers, but we're going to cast them in bronze, and we're going to memorialize them in our fair city. This month, they're unveiling these statues. fictional meth manufacturers, of course, from the if you never watched the show Breaking Bad, it's about a science teacher who's diagnosed with cancer, and in an effort to, if I'm remembering correctly, he's initially diagnosed with cancer, and he teams up with a local meth cook to start making drugs. A mether, so that he can make enough money to sustain his family after he dies of cancer.
I think they're called Methodists.
Methodists. There you go. But that's the premise of that show, is that he's a guy who, he's a science teacher, so he goes, I know how to do this. He hooks up with a local tough.
Really a show that can only exist in America.
Yes, because of our broken healthcare system. Mm-hmm. Right. Any other country, you would just be a drug dealer because people like drugs.
Yeah.
The extra layer of this.
He's got a little motivation.
There you go.
Which makes him a little bit more of a sympathetic drug dealer, but then he just gets in it so deep.
Then, as the name implies, he starts Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. And you're right. It is a commentary on the horribly broken American healthcare system. But Vince Gilligan said that the city of Albuquerque has been fantastic to them.
I also like when people are like, yeah, you can get it taken care of if you don't die first from waiting. And then everybody from other countries like, no, it's not like that. We'll get it taken care of.
Well, again, you get wildly different views, from people, people who have lived overseas. They go, yeah, you'll wait a little bit, But again, people
here too.
Yeah, you will wait here. You try getting an appointment with a doctor. They're like, we're for the most mundane things, by the way, not to get your colorectal screening. Hey, I got to have this thing lanced off me. They go, yeah, okay, we're booking into November. Is that cool if you...
Of next year.
Of 2023. You go, I guess. Is this going to kill me? No? So Vince Gilligan said that, I don't know if he's paying for it, or if, I don't know, they were commissioned by Vince Gilligan, and I guess he's donating them to Albuquerque. Mm. So the city of Albuquerque is not paying for these. That's what I thought was initially funny, is I thought Albuquerque's going, all right, what do we have? Breaking Bad is all we've had for the last 15 years. With due respect to people in Albuquerque, pop culture-wise, people... Who was that?
It just came out.
Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Wow.
No, that wasn't thick spit. I haven't had my yogurt yet.
I haven't had my yogurt yet. So this is foreshadowing for your phlegm later on. Your thick spit.
My thick spit.
Right.
And chia
Take a picture of your spit before and then a picture of your spit after.
Before and after?
Yeah, so people can
right.
see the
dangling
difference.
from my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Why would you eat yogurt during the show?
Because I have to. I'm hungry.
Because she's got to have it, Alan.
What I'm saying is like
the yogurt.
What I'm saying is like I wouldn't eat anything that would compromise my mouth during the talking portion of my day.
Right.
Right. You want it.
You might have noticed, Alan, you are not me. And we're all the better for it, quite frankly. All right. What flavor of yogurt today?
Today it is lemon tart flavor yogurt.
So you're going to get real thick spit then, because it's also got the added bitterness, the tartness to
I'm
it.
excited.
And that kind of really clenched someone's throat.
And I'm really throwing a thing in the loop by adding chia seeds, because those love to get stuck in your teeth.
You got to floss. I put chia seeds in my yogurt when I have yogurt, and it's like you got to either let them sit for a minute so they don't get stuck in your teeth, or if you just go right at it, it's a must floss situation.
What do chia seeds have in them that's good?
Fiber.
Fiber.
Lots of fiber.
Yeah.
Good for poop.
Keep that poop moving.
That's right.
Nice, big, long, smooth clump.
I mean, you want a pillowy floater at the end of the day, so, whatever can help you get to that point.
Gross.
So, anyway, Albuquerque's getting these Breaking Bad statues. They will be indoors, by the way. I'm sure Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul will be there to attend the unveiling, but these will be indoors so that they won't get crapped on by birds or whatever. So if Albuquerque is anywhere on your summertime road trip list, now you'll see these at the Albuquerque Convention Center.
I feel like Albuquerque is a better place to go in the fall.
When it gets a little cooler.
Yep. I think that, it's a little too hot in the summer. can get pretty chilly in the winter. So a nice
Oh, yeah?
fall or spring trip. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it doesn't get, not like here, but I think it can get a little cold there.
Okay. Well, I've never been to Albuquerque. I was only in New Mexico one time. My father's mother used to live in Deming, New Mexico, which is about a half an hour from the Mexican border.
Did a comedy club there a million years ago.
In Deming?
No, in Albuquerque.
Oh, in Albuquerque. And what was the name of the... was it called Albucrackers or something like that? Or Albuquerque?
I can't even
or
remember. This is
Ha
literally
Albuquerque?
2005, so I can't even.
The Laugh Pueblo?
Yeah. I mean, this predates Breaking Bad, so it's that long ago.
I know that we've given South Euclid their share of ribbing because there seems to be an inordinate number of people there having sex with animals over the past couple of years. Just anecdotally, I've noticed that anytime a story comes up about somebody who got caught with himself in a dog, to put it kindly, it happens in South Euclid. And so around these parts, our shorthand for bestiality is, must have been in South Euclid. Well, hopefully maybe they can... bestiality can go to number 2, and number 1 can be all their filthy dollar stores. Because they're shutting down a bunch of them there in South Euclid.
Too expensive?
Too filthy.
Oh.
Filthy. Ugh, gosh.
So they're getting
so many health
shut down by the
violations
health
that they
department?
had to close the store down, like the building commissioner for these things.
Condemn it. Put it under a
Closed for
tent.
further notice. I mean, what do you expect? It's a dollar store. You
Yeah,
think
but-
they're investing in these locations? They're not.
But I mean, they do have some goods that can spoil, but not a ton. It's a lot of dry goods and canned goods. The freezer stuff can go bad, but wow. How bad are these locations?
A building commissioner went to one location in South Euclid and said he was going to shut it down. Then she went to another location, and they said they were going to shut themselves down because they knew she was coming. That's how well they're taking care of things. Imagine you're the store manager or a district manager or something, right? I was a store manager of a Blockbuster Video in Chicago many, many years ago. One of my first managerial positions was I started as a regular grunt, and then very quickly, because I was apparently the only person that wanted to do the work, I was the store manager of a Blockbuster Video, and boy, it had to be 5 by 5. Now, granted, you're dealing with 1 or 2 kinds of inventory at a Blockbuster, right? VHS, Laserdisc, and then you got your candies and your stuff like that. You're not dealing with a store with so many different kinds of things like a dollar store. So theoretically, it might be easier to keep tabs on. But imagine you find out that the building commissioner is coming and you voluntarily shut yourselves down.
You can't close us. We closed
ourselves. They said that they have to remove the hazards. God, I'd love to know what the hazards were in these stores.
Human feces.
I didn't get that vibe. Said one of the stores you couldn't even get through the aisles.
And the floors were like dark, dirty.
and the electrical panels weren't accessible. So like we had to shut them down, right? Couldn't get through the aisles. It's just like you envision people just pulling things off the shelves and throwing them into... Although that's what a lot of stores look like now. It just looks like something exploded.
Ransacked.
Yes.
Like Sebastian's.
Like every day was, a Brown Thursday or Black Friday.
Like Sebastian's bit about going to Ross dressed for less, where everything was like, oh, I'm not going to get this.
TJ Maxx. Yeah. Box of underwear is torn open. If they don't clean up the stores, they can never reopen. And that's fine too, said the building commissioner, because I'm sure someone else would take the space. Oof, man. But think about that.
Dollar Lieutenant.
Yeah, I'm turning this
Captain
over.
Dollar.
I'm turning this over to my dollar lieutenant. Until further notice, this store is being demoted. I'm sorry. So the your dollar private location One other woman said that the building commissioner was being very, very diplomatic in how she was describing it. She said, those stores are filthy. They shouldn't even have a license to sell food. Yikes. If I had a dog, I wouldn't even let my dog eat off the floor. First of all, why is that the measure of how clean a place is, right? Like if you'd say, you could eat off my floors.
I say that all the time.
You know, like if your mom was really proud of stuff. You're not your mom, but like, you know, if like a mom was proud.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
You could eat off those floors. A dog is the bad...
Dogs
will lick anything off a floor.
Right. But it's so bad that she wouldn't let a dog eat off that floor.
Well, it says more about her pet care than the state of these Dollar Generals.
I think it says a lot about the state of these Dollar Generals because most of the time you'll let the dog eat off the floor. But you go into that place and you go, whoa, this is so gross. I'm not letting my dog eat off this floor.
All I'm saying is that, if history is any guide, there's a hell of a lot worse things happening to dogs in South Euclid than eating off the floors of Dollar Generals.
Can't be cleaning our Dollar Generals. We got dogs.
We got dogs to fornicate with. Come on. This woman says if these were dollar stores in Beechwood or Independence, our fair city, the high end, they wouldn't have...
You know how they got all those dollar stores in Beechwood?
Yeah. Well, there's a dollar store, Dollar stores have even crept into affluent communities, right? There's one right in that big strip in Rocky River. By the Ohio Pie and the Mitchells. There's a Whole Foods and then a Dollar Tree right next to it.
Well, I mean, it's just sensible for some things.
Hey, makes sense.
Dollar General and Berea.
Speaking of just affluent neighborhoods, I heard there was some trouble in the Bay.
Oh, Alan, what'd you do?
Oh, with John Loftman?
Yeah.
What a terrible, terrible story.
It's so sad.
By the way, get well John Loftman, our buddy John Loftman, who couldn't be nicer. He's one of the meteorologists over there at Channel 19. Sometimes Sam Roberts is our primary meteorologist here on the show, but sometimes if she's on vacation or something, John Loftman will fill in. And you've seen him on Channel 19 for a long time. He's been in the Ohio Broadcasters Hall of Fame for 20 years. And his son beat the guy half to death. John Loftman lives not far from me. We're both Bay Village residents. And the police blotter, or word gets out that his son, and I don't know how old the son is, they refer to him as an adult son. That his son beat the ever-loving piss out of John. He's still in the hospital recuperating. And that his, 32-year-old is what it says. 32-year-old son. And that his wife, John's wife,
like egged him on or something.
Tried to obstruct the investigation or something. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. Everybody's got the same information. But I hope we're pulling for you, John. I don't know anything about that dynamic there. But an awful story. You think at the very least, your wife would come to your rescue. Hey! Quit hitting your dad.
No. Mm-hmm.
The cops came out and found John had been physically assaulted. They got a report. Somebody called in a report of a male in cardiac arrest. This was on this past Saturday at like 5:30 in the afternoon.
Jeez.
Daylight hours. And they found John Loftman had been physically assaulted. And he was able to communicate that he had been attacked by his adult son. And so, it's a really weird situation. I hope he's doing okay. Hopefully he'll be back over there. And listen, the TV biz, broadcasting in general, it's cutthroat. Mm-hmm. There's people over there that are like, get well soon, John, but don't ever come back to work.
Or they'll have a camera.
I want that sweet, sweet spot.
They'll have a camera in his hospital room, and they're like, can you do the weather from here? I mean, I know you can't do your own makeup, but could you try?
I got a bunch of broken ribs, but I can still tell you it's going to be 95 and humid tomorrow. So anyway, a crazy story, because again, he literally does not live that far from me. Bay Village is not a huge community, and he's a few streets over from me. So
I just hope things aren't getting too rough in the Bay.
Well, now that what's-his-name ain't driving through at 100 miles an hour, 2 in the morning anymore, Earl. What's that guy's name?
Earl.
J.R. Smith. Earl. Yeah. Is it? I go, slow down, Earl. He was always driving his...
Why do you call him Earl?
Because it's his name.
He likes to be called J.R. Smith.
Come on. I like to be called a lot of things, too.
Yeah,
but my name is Alan. My name's Alan.
Yeah.
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 That's why I tell people, I go, please, stop calling me Captain Fun. I appreciate the gesture, but stop.
Well, we're doing it in a mean way.
Why do you think I tell him to stop? Or ask him to stop? So anyway, people of South Euclid, cherish your dollar stores. Stop having sex with dogs. And train them instead to sniff out filthy stores or something.
Teach them to mop.
Mop! If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. That's what I was always told.
But then when I got to do my leaning, that's what I never understood about that. I want to lean.
Well, you should specify lean time. Lil Wayne does it.
I was going to do lean time, but then they're like, well, you should be mopping because you're leaning. I was like, I didn't even have a mop. Now I got to go get a mop. This is throwing off my
You're
whole
giving
day.
me more work.
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware there was mopping involved. Now I've got to go buy my own mop.
Can I use a Swiffer? Is that all right?
If it's
Got the
Swiffer wet jet,
yeah.
yeah, that's mopping.
Can I lean while I'm waiting to buy the mop?
It's not
Or do I
mopping.
need to be mopping as I'm waiting to buy?
Let's be honest.
I mop like that. That's what I call mopping.
Swiffer wet jet. I wouldn't say it's a full mop.
I'm not doing a full mop.
Wet jet
No,
gets
I'm
your
fine with that too.
wet jet gets your dust wet and then pushes it around the
No,
floor.
that's why you dry Swiffer first. If you live in my house, you vacuum and then dry Swiffer and then wet Swiffer.
I have a cleaning lady. I don't deal with any of that.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
listen, stop. I've got tickets for you for the Cleveland Orchestra. They are going to accompany the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I think that's the first film, out at Blossom a week from Saturday, July 23rd. And the Cleveland Orchestra will perform the film soundtrack. You can go to clevelandorchestra.com if you want to buy them. If you want to win them, be caller 10. I'll get you a pair right here. 2 for the Cleveland Orchestra at Lord of the Rings out at Blossom. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.